Chinese scholar warns, youth unemployment challenge could persist for a decade, posing political issues. Year-end approaches amidst fears of civil unrest, CCP forced to modify fireworks ban. The fall of military industry giants threatens the CCP's military-industrial complex. CCP's persecution of Falun Gong shifts from covert to open once again. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Chinese scholar warns, youth unemployment challenge could persist for a decade, posing political issues. 2023 is coming to an end, and the Chinese people have not been able to usher in the economic recovery after the pandemic restrictions were lifted. As China's economy continues to decline, China's youth unemployment problem has attracted much attention. Some scholars have said that China's youth unemployment problem may continue for 10 years, which may lead to political problems and endanger the CCP's regime. Despite the CCP's emphasis on stabilizing employment in recent years, the job prospects for Chinese youth continue to deteriorate. This year, a staggering 11.58 million college graduates entered the job market, facing what's been dubbed the toughest job market in history, where post-graduation unemployment has become the norm. The lingering effects of strict lockdowns in recent years still cast a shadow, with many industries yet to fully recover, resulting in a shortage of opportunities for this year's college graduates. Adding to the concern, the Ministry of Education announced a record high of 11.79 million Chinese college graduates for 2024, a 210,000 increase from this year. Economist Lu Yuanchen, president of Shanghai University of Finance and Economics, issued a warning in June, stating that youth unemployment is not merely a cyclical issue but a systemic and long-term trend. Notably, he cautioned that the problem could persist for a decade, intensifying in the short term, potentially leading to broader social and even political problems if mishandled. In July, China's National Bureau of Statistics reported a record-high youth unemployment rate of 21.3% in June. Curiously, in August, they ceased publishing data on youth unemployment, citing the need to optimize statistical methods. While the figures have vanished, the unemployed youth have not. Instead, they can be found in libraries across major cities. The Library Index has become an indicator of China's youth unemployment rate, highlighting that halting data publication does not resolve the issue, it may exacerbate the crisis of confidence. As previously reported, public libraries in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and other cities have become refuges for unemployed people. Like office workers, they come early and leave late every day. The only difference is that they have no jobs and no pay. At the same time, this year has also been a year when the overall mental state of Chinese youth has attracted much attention. The China National Mental Health Development Report, 2021 to 2022, published by the Psychological Research Institute of the Chinese Academy of Sciences in February this year, shows that young people are a high-risk group for depression. In particular, the risk of depression in the 18 to 24-year-old age group was 24.1% after screening, which was significantly higher than that of other age groups. The risk of depression in the 25 to 34-year-old age group was about 12.3%, which was also significantly higher than that of all age groups 35 and above. According to a research report published this year in the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention Weekly, between 2010 and 2021, the suicide death rate in the 5 to 14-year-old age group increased by an average of nearly 10% each year. The suicide death rate among 15 to 24-year-old age group increased by 19.6% every year from 2017 to 2021. Some foreign media analysts believe that young people in China have long been facing fierce competition for education and employment. The youth unemployment rate has also brought great pressure to record highs. As the employment situation becomes increasingly severe, terms such as slow employment, full-time children, and 45-degree youth have constantly emerged. The latest term 45-degree youth once became a hot search. Lying flat is 0 degrees, and the extreme involution going all out to seek achievements is 90 degrees. Finding a foothold between lying flat or extreme involution is 45 degrees, which describes the dilemma of Chinese young people who cannot stand straight but cannot lie flat. Xia Zhuji, associate professor of the Department of Sociology at Wuhan University, said that the uncertain state of 45 degrees life, with no way up or down, reminded him of the concept of middle class in the field of sociology research, which mainly refers to white-collar workers in cities. Young people who have just entered this group after graduating from school are usually under a lot of pressure, but their desires change too quickly and opportunities are unevenly distributed. In this social reality, people's spirits can easily fall into exhaustion. Year-end approaches amidst fears of civil unrest, CCP forced to modify fireworks ban. As Chinese New Year draws near, the Chinese Communist Party's sweeping prohibition on lighting fireworks and firecrackers is once again causing a stir. The rise of what's been termed the firework revolution in various regions has pressured the government to reconsider their ban on fireworks. On December 28, an editorial on the state-run CCTV's website gained attention, asserting that after a year of hard work, the Chinese people deserve to enjoy fireworks, sparking a widespread discussion. Chinese citizens on the mainland are expressing their support for lifting the firecracker ban, emphasizing that fireworks symbolize ceremony and hope, and they want to celebrate the new year joyfully. Earlier, on December 26, Shen Chunyao, head of the Legal Affairs Committee of the National People's Congress Standing Committee, stated in a report that a complete ban on fireworks is unlawful. Some netizens have mockingly critiqued the CCP's tendency for abrupt policy shifts. They seem to be just fooling around, constantly flipping their decisions, like it's all some kind of game. In recent years, the CCP's increased control measures have led to growing tensions with the public. Afraid of a popular uprising, the government has found itself having to compromise on various issues. A prime example is the White Paper Revolution. In late November, people in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Wuhan, Chengdu, and Guangzhou took to the streets to protest the strict zero-COVID policies, even chanting slogans against the Communist Party and its leader, Xi Jinping. Following the White Paper Revolution, the CCP abandoned its zero-COVID approach and lifted pandemic control measures at the end of December. Xi Jinping acknowledged the discontent among Chinese youth with these policies. Subsequently, the firework revolution erupted in various places. On January 2, 2023, residents in Lui County, Hunan, openly defied the ban by setting off fireworks, leading to confrontations with the police. Following this, numerous videos surfaced showing residents in various Chinese cities like Tianjin, Jiangsu, Guangxi, Shandong, and Chongqing openly defying the CCP's fireworks ban by setting them off in the streets. Interestingly, the videos show police present on the streets not stopping the celebrations but rather joining the public in watching the fireworks. Wang Huntao, a Chinese pro-democracy activist in the U.S., views both the firework movement and the policy changes following the White Paper movement as reluctant concessions by the CCP and local governments due to public pressure. Chinese political and economic commentator Qin Peng, based in New York, believes that 3 years of lockdowns have fueled resentment and anger among the public. Job losses and family bereavements, coupled with harsh lockdowns and deception by the authorities, have pushed people to seek solace in activities like setting off firecrackers. He believes that such concessions by the CCP will serve as a psychological boost to the population, potentially leading to more protests. The CCP regime has maintained its grip on power through authoritarian control for many decades, and any signs of retreat could gradually erode the government's response mechanisms. As a result, sustained resistance from the people may ultimately contribute to the downfall of the CCP. The fall of military industry giants threatens the CCP's military-industrial complex. As the year draws to a close, a series of consecutive internal unrest events have erupted within the CCP. Recently, the CCP officially announced the removal of Wu Yanqing, who serves as the chairman of the China Aerospace Science and Technology Group, Liu Shiquan, chairman of the China Ordnance Industry Group, and Wang Changqing, Deputy General Manager of the China Aerospace Science and Technology Group, from their memberships in the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. While official information regarding the involvement of these three individuals in the case remains undisclosed, some Hong Kong media outlets have commented that the revocation indicates that these three military giants are suspected of serious violations of discipline and law, and it also confirms their involvement in the Rocket Force corruption case. This corruption scandal within the Chinese Communist Party's Rocket Force revolves around the procurement of military equipment and has had far-reaching consequences, affecting the Equipment Development Department of the Military Commission and various defense industry enterprises. There are speculations that Yuan Jia, chairman of the China Aerospace Science and Industry Group, may also be implicated. However, the recent downfall of three top defense industry leaders is just the tip of the iceberg. This ongoing military anti-corruption campaign has placed the Chinese Communist Party's military industry division on the brink of collapse. In October of this year, reports surfaced on the overseas social media platform X, where insiders claimed that the incident involving Li Shangfu, the former China's Minister of National Defense, had a significant impact on the military industry. As a result, two prominent figures in the defense sector, Wu Yanqing, chairman of the China Aerospace Science and Technology Group, and Yuan Jia, chairman of the China Aerospace Science and Industry Group, were taken in for investigation a month ago. Subsequently, Liu Shiquan, chairman of China Ordnance Group, Yuan Jia, chairman of China Aerospace Science and Industry Group, Chen Guoying, general manager of China Ordnance Equipment Group, and Tang Ruisong, the former chairman of the China Aviation Industry Group, who was dismissed in March, all faced rumors of detention by the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection. If these individuals are indeed under investigation, it could potentially have implications for their predecessors as well. The defense industry encompasses technology research and industrial manufacturing, spanning sectors like nuclear technology, aerospace, aviation, shipbuilding, and weaponry. It serves as a key arena for implementing civil-military integration strategies, playing a vital role in strengthening the military and bolstering the nation's global standing. In recent years, officials from the defense industry have risen in prominence within the Chinese Communist Party's political landscape. During the 20th National Congress of the CCP held in October 2022, 5 individuals with backgrounds in the defense industry were promoted to the political bureau. These individuals are relatively younger, with an average age of 59.6 years, which is 5 years lower than the average age of other political bureau members, around 64.5 years. A distinctive characteristic of senior officials within the Chinese Communist Party's defense industry is their combination of loyalty and expertise in their respective fields. This has made them highly favored by Xi Jinping, especially within the aerospace and weaponry sectors. Nevertheless, the involvement of several senior defense industry officials in corruption cases has dealt a significant blow to Xi's aspirations in the ongoing power struggle with the United States. CCP's persecution of Falun Gong shifts from covert to open once again. As we approach the end of 2023, let's take a moment to examine the notable news stories that the Chinese Communist Party has subjected to censorship throughout the past year. One of the most prominent news items is the brutal repression of Falun Gong practitioners. Back to July 20, 1999, the CCP, under Jiang Zemin's leadership, started this whole campaign against Falun Gong. This brutal persecution has swept across mainland China and hasn't stopped for 24 years. This persecution has been going on for 24 years under 3 different CCP heads. The current leader, Xi Jinping, who's been in charge for over 10 years, is still pushing the same agenda. Lately, the CCP's approach to this persecution has shifted from being sneaky to being blatantly obvious. Currently, the regime is using secret operations and rogue tactics in the judicial system to further intensify the persecution. A recent report by the Falun Dafa Information Center reveals that since 2017, at least 12 Chinese provinces have put crushing Falun Gong high on their to-do list. Australian historian Li Yuanhua believes that a significant reason for the CCP's continued presence lies in the clash between Falun Gong's values of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance and the CCP's narrative of falsehood, evil, and fighting. Since February 2006, CCP's local websites have stopped talking about Falun Gong, probably to make it seem like they've got the situation under control. But between 2017 and 2023, CCP's judicial, security, and defense systems have been openly calling for increased persecution at national meetings. Come January 2023, top CCP officials are attacking Falun Gong openly. Du Wen, the former head of the Inner Mongolia Classic Chapter Law and Sociology Research Institute, got a 12-year sentence for a bribery case. He recently gave an exclusive interview to NTD television, revealing about the brutal torture methods in CCP's detention centers and prisons, with Falun Gong followers facing the worst of it. Du Wen himself was solitary in May 2022, accused of criticizing the party. He's seen Falun Gong practitioners get far worse treatment. They're tied up for ages, sometimes for a whole month, and tortured non-stop. Zhang Erping, representing the Falun Dafa Information Center, points out that data from Minghui.org, a platform dedicated to documenting the CCP's persecution of Falun Gong, reports a death toll of 5,010 Falun Gong practitioners since the commencement of the persecution in 1999. However, the actual number is likely much higher due to the CCP's tight control over information. Halfway into this year, Minghui.org found out about 120 practitioners who died from this persecution. Some of these deaths might have happened way before they were reported. The victims include people from all walks of life: university professors, radio hosts, cops, bank managers, engineers, finance officers, teachers, doctors, nurses, chefs, and even chess referees. In November this year alone, at least 95 Falun Gong practitioners were subjected to illegal sentencing in mainland China. These individuals were spread across 17 provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities directly under the central government. Among them were 39 elderly Falun Gong practitioners over the age of 60, and 2 were 85 years old. From January to November, a total of 1,103 Falun Gong practitioners in mainland China were illegally sentenced by the CCP. It's important to note that these figures represent only a portion of what is publicly known. It is highly unlikely that anyone possesses precise data regarding those who have been illegally arrested, subjected to torture, or even lost their lives due to persecution. This is because the Chinese Communist regime does not disclose such information to the public. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.